Okay, I think I'm live now. I think I'm live. Ah, God, the camera's still being shit. I'm going to adjust it again. Hello, everybody. There you go. I was only about a minute late. Hello, Dr. Obama, Luke, Fox of Fate. I'm going to try and adjust this camera again. That's really weird. Why is it doing that? Okay, maybe I need less brightness. Yes, let's go a bit more sepia tone, a bit less white and pasty. Too much color, too much color. Well, that makes me look like I've got a fantastic skin disease. Maybe again a bit more. Yes, that's good. It is. It's very sepia tone though, isn't it? Exposure. Oh, maybe that's something I want to adjust. Image quality, right? Like, stop that. There we go. What's that do? That's a bit better. That's a bit better. What's that do? That does that. Oh, wow, that was a bit much. Oh, that's a bit better. Okay, I'm going to stick with that. Hey, Miss Foxification. Luke, you don't like her head? Oh, God, Musical Aviator. You've been having to go outside, turn your gas hot water on. Alexander, do you like the thumbnail? There's Chuck in it. Until Mimsy joins us, Chuck will be the mascot of the show. Oh, God, just reminded me of a friggin' nightmare I had a very long time ago, because it was just after my firstborn arrived. I had this very weird thing where I'm renting a place. This is when I was living in Sydney, and these guys show up unannounced saying the gas company sent them, they had to replace a valve on the gas hot water. It was a safety thing. It was a I don't know, whatever. So they come in, they go, and they're gone, right? And they go to use hot water. I don't know why I didn't check when they were still there. Maybe they did it when I was at work. I don't remember. But anyway, go to use hot water, no hot water. Go out there, the pilot light's gone out on the hot water heater. It was a gas hot water heater. Try to relight it, nothing will get it to restart. What the fuck? So I call the gas company and like, what the hell? And they're like, oh, who was it? We didn't send anyone out there. I'm going like, okay, this is just like getting worse with you saying that wasn't even legitimate, but fix it. Oh, we'll send someone out to fix it, And I was like, okay, I've got a newborn. We need hot water. This is pretty urgent. Okay, we'll get someone now, Politely wait 2 hours. Nothing happens. Call again. Oh, all right. And then, no, I can't even see the jobs. And basically this shit went on all day with the fuckwits from the gas company keeping on saying that it'll happen, then it never happened. And it was getting towards the end of the day and they're going like, oh, they can't send anyone out after 6 o'clock, but they'll definitely be there before 6 o'clock. And 6 o'clock came, no one showed up. And I know exactly what they're going to say when I call them back. And I call back and someone says, oh, shithead gas company, can I help you? And I said, you don't get paid enough to talk to me. Get me someone higher up on the line now. And they're like, oh, I'm sure I could help you. What is it you actually want? And I said, I want the heads of everyone who's lied to me today on sticks at the bottom of my garden. Get your supervisor. And she goes, cool, I'll get my supervisor. And I get supervisor. And of course, they said exactly what I thought they were going to say. It's after 6 o'clock, we can't send anyone. We have to charge you for after hours. And I went, no, here's what's going to happen. You are going to get someone out here now. You are not charging me anything because I've been lied to all day. This is not my fault. This is not my responsibility. And you are not leaving me with a newborn child with no hot water. You are fixing this. And it is very important you understand at this point that you should not take for granted the fact that I sound very calm, because I have never been more angry in my entire life. But there's something that needs to get fixed and you need to fix it now. And lo and behold, someone came out. I need to fucking threaten people's lives earlier in the day. Justin, you're saying we've got a new Governor General. That actually got by me. I didn't know it was time to get a new ceremonial head of state. Who did they actually appoint? Someone really relevant, I'm sure. Given it's Scummo doing the appointment, fuck knows. I'm going to look up. Who has been appointed Governor General of Australia? There you go. It's a topic. What does the news say? David Hurley vows to safeguard democracy. Never heard of him, but they're saying the Australian and their usual culture war stuff have said the Greens snubbed him. Okay, he's very old. He's a former New South Wales governor. God, all this crap. Oh, Governor General's critical to stability of our system of democratic government. Yeah, except when the fucker sacks the democratically elected government, really. Wow. Malcolm Turnbull continues throwing dirt at his former party. They're saying he argued with his then Attorney General over dragging the former Governor General, Sir Peter Cosgrove, into the leadership spill, suggesting Sir Peter would not swear Peter Dutton in as Prime Minister over nagging concerns. That's right. Because there was questions about Dutton's eligibility. Man, I fucking love how petty and personal Malcolm Turnbull got. It's hilarious. Absolutely hilarious. Anyway, you had a final inspection of an old unit. Oh, you got made to feel awkward because you were with a friend and someone says, "Is this your girlfriend?" That is a awkward situation for someone to put you in. Definitely. Don't you remember? We're going to know about David Hurley. He supports the same footy team as Albo. Yeah, see this thing here? This is the best $5 I've spent recently. Telescoping back scratcher. I was out with AIDS at a shopping mall near where he lives, and I just saw it and went, skeleton hand back scratcher. Yes, please. Ooh, it gets right down there. It gets right down there. Oh yeah, this is a fantastic $5 investment. Back scratcher. I get really bored. I scratch my head. It feels like someone else scratching my head. Feels better. Dr. Obama, I'm doing well. Thank you very much. Yes, Miss Foxification. I do see the Libs complaining about the concept of Labor not rubber stamping their shitty budget, which is hilarious. Oh, God. They're just so fucked. CrossFit would reach. Yes, I can reach all the way down my back, do my neck, my back, and my crack, as the saying goes. Well, that's not strictly speaking how the saying goes in that song. I know. Oh, God. It's just like, it's addictive, though. Look at this. I'm going, it's addictive. Speaking of AIDS, he did get out of hospital, which is good. I don't know if anyone saw him describing what they were going to do to him in hospital, but they were trying to induce fits to measure his epilepsy and that sort of shit. And apparently he didn't actually have any fits despite all the stuff they did to him. They did manage to piss him off lots by not letting him vape and taking all these prescription drugs off him. But apparently he didn't have fit, but they let him out anyway. Then he had to spend a day or two getting glue out of his hair because of the electrodes they stuck on his head. Oh God, I just noticed if I put my white shirt up, it changes all the color. I go even yellower. Yeah, got to keep my arms down. Too much white. King Europe, Bill Shorten dab. I bet Bill Shorten does dab. Fucking idiot. Oh no, Safa. Misplaced Nintendo Switch dock. That's no good. Young Miss Angry just keeps her Nintendo Switch in her bedroom now, so I never get to play it. I think like she's streaming all the time. We've still got the PlayStation 4 out here, but I don't get to play that. Mrs. Angry and her son are playing Fallout 4 all the time, which is good. I've been playing some Borderlands on my PC because I found more DLC than I'm entitled to, so yay. Sort of teaser stuff for Borderlands 3 coming out later this year. Yeah, oh, look, what about Trump again? That was hilarious. The way the conservative commentators are falling over themselves to say that's a good thing when they screamed and foamed at the mouth that Obama can't talk to foreign dictators. That's terrible. But Trump can. And that's the absolute epitome of what's fucked with the two-party system. It's just like the inability of some people to be rational, balanced, and consistent. It's just like, oh, if the other guy does it, it's bad. If the other guy does it, it's good. No, that's one thing. As much as I hate that centrist idea of both sides, that is one thing that I don't think any political party, people of any political persuasion, are immune to, excusing something from someone they support when they condemn the same actions or behaviour from someone they don't like. It's something I'm quite conscious of. I try not to do it, and I'm sure I do fall into that at least from time to time. But yeah, people like the fucking Fox News fuckwits. Oh my God, it's bizarre watching them. Hey, Red Scorpion, I am doing well. I hope you're doing well too. Yes, that's right. The Borderlands pre-sequel was made in Australia, and they had all those terrible Australian accents and Australian jokes in it. The pre-sequel was hilarious. I really enjoyed it. If you want the situation resolved peacefully. Oh, if you're talking about the North Korea thing, yeah, look, in the abstract, making moves to reduce the chance of conflict with North Korea is a positive. It's just that Trump is a bumbling, narcissistic oaf who's being played for the sucker he is by Kim. And, oh, wait, my thing's not plugged in. What's the story? I just noticed my battery was going to run out. Better plug the laptop in so that doesn't happen. Oh, geez, you've got a positive outlook, Miss Foxification. The possibility of reunification of Korea will make North Korea behave. I don't really hold out that much hope, but I'm glad you do. Oh, we're back. Okay, my laptop not being plugged in must have just been a coincidence. Yeah, I'm on the right Wi-Fi. If it ever gets particularly bad, I can actually run a cable out here to the laptop. This Foxification, you think North Korea really wants unification, but South Korea wouldn't agree to unification without the complete disbanding of like the North Korean military and power structure, and for Kim to fuck off somewhere. There's no way they'd want any of that ridiculous bullshit from the North getting in their face. So if it was the German, from memory, the German reunification was amazingly friendly, incredibly friendly. King Europe, you reckon friendly diplomacy stopped the Cold War? Other people say the Cold War ended because the US just spent the Soviet Union into collapse and they didn't have a choice. There are always different views. Look, I like your view that friendly diplomacy will work. That's the sort of world I want. But I'm just not always sure about it. Oh, yeah, Ms. Foxification, I agree with you. The reason North Korea has never abandoned its nuclear uh, well, I don't capability or attempt to be nuclear capable is because anyone who's ever agreed with the US about cutting back on their military activity has ended up getting overthrown. So why the fuck would you give up your power when it means you get overthrown and usually executed? So yeah, why would you give up your nuclear program just because the US wants you to when you saw what happened to everyone else who did it? Oh, yes, that's another fun topic, George Obama. Interest rates in Australia got cut to a record low of 1%, which just means the economy has gone to shit. The economy has completely stagnated, and it will be a minor miracle if we stave off a severe recession, and it certainly won't be due to any government policy if we avoid recession, because they've just been driving the economy into the ground. Just King Europe again with the positive outlook. I like it. Yes, obviously, yes, I agree. Giving billions to the military-industrial complex is unsustainable and wrong and fucked up. But they have so much power, and American politics is so utterly fucked that reality doesn't really affect them. Oh, miscommunication. You joke that scum will be doing the happy clapping. That ridiculous evangelical church you belong to literally does that prosperity gospel shit and says, you know, just pray to God and you'll get all the money you want. And it was super fucking spooky. Scummo's incredible against the odds election win. When he calls it a miracle win, he's not using that as a figure of speech. You know, he believes it's actual intervention from God that made him prime minister. And that is a super fucking disturbing thing. King Europe, you want the economy to collapse so your generation can get into real estate? Yeah, well, unfortunately, um, the sense of having job security now doesn't necessarily maintain if there's a really bad recession. Lots of people in previous recessions who felt they were safe turned out not to be. So no, politics is fucked. Yes, it is. World is on fire. America looking for fire. We didn't start the fire. Yes, who can do Billy Joel quotes? So if didn't home prices rise in Melbourne and Sydney? I don't know. Let's do a quick search. Now I've got my new laptop. Did I mention I have a new laptop? It actually fucking works. As opposed to my old one that was really giving me the shits. No, we don't want ads. Oh, there you go. Sydney and Melbourne property prices rise for the first time since 2017. So there you go. First price rise in 2 years. The dwelling values rose 0.1 to 0.2%. So that's first. They've been in decline for 2 years, and now they've gone up by 0.1%. What's the specs? Oh God, I should know. It's like got an i7 processor. What do I do to get the specs up on the computer? I'm a very bad nerd. Winky paws. There's yeah. CPUs here. Run dicks. Was it? Wait, what's this? Angry laptop. I called it the angry laptop because I'm a nerd. Settings. System. I want to answer the question now. I just remember it's like an i7 processor. Sleep better. Make Windows better. Display, no. Got a terabyte storage drive and like a 250 gig SSD drive to run the stuff off. I might even, I've got to try video editing on this to see what it's like. Wait, it's got tablet mode. Does it? Does it really? Doesn't have a tablet mode. It's not a touch screen. What the hell? That was bad. I don't know. I was just looking at settings. Use desktop mode. I don't think tablet mode actually works. That was a lie. That was an absolute lie. Projecting to this PC, shared experience, clipboard. About. It's probably in about, right? Okay. So, yes, I've got 8 gig RAM. An i7 1.8 gigahertz chip. There you go. So that's what I've got. And integrated graphics card. What is the? It was about $1,500. I could have saved. There was one they were offering me like, there was a model, a different make. Like this is an HP. The other one was, I don't know, a Dell or a Lenovo or something. And it was the same price, but the only one of that they had left was a display model, and they were going like, "Oh, give me $100 off if I take the display model," and it's like, $100 isn't that much, and I don't want a laptop that God knows how many people have had their gross hands all over, so I will get the other one and pay the full price for it. So yeah, this might actually be a good. This might be better at video editing than my fucking desktop. I don't even know. I don't even remember what my desktop specs are. God, I'm a bad nerd, aren't I? So I just went to Officeworks. It was very much impulse on Sunday. I was trying to set up for a live stream, and the old fucking laptop just shit me again. And it's funny because I was doing a live stream with Eva, and she was out for a while saying she's getting a new laptop. No, fuck it. Last day of the financial year, I'm getting a new laptop that I can put in my tax as well. So I just went out and got a laptop. And that was that. So I don't know. The most was it expensive? The most expensive Windows laptop they had there was like $1,700. Like you get a high-end gaming one that'll, you know, you can spend as much as you want, basically $3,000-4,000. But I know, you know, the laptops range from, you know, the ones they had at Officeworks range from $300 or $400 up to $1,700. The Windows laptops, of course, Macs are more expensive. Oh, well, yeah, an Air Mac is cheaper, about $1,200–1,300, and the Power Macs are a bit more expensive. Miss Fox, I honestly don't know. I know you're saying a 8GB RAM is not that much. I agree. And I agree with you. Hopefully it's one stick and there's a spare slot. I could beef it up if I want to. Yeah, so yeah. CPU and GPUs got expensive because of fuckwits with their cryptocurrency mining that all needed high-powered chips and drove the prices of them right up. Annoying jerks. Just to never buy a pre-made desktop kit. I know, I did actually find locally there's this old Asian guy whose shop's clearly been there forever because he's got some hilariously old tech sitting on the shelves. Like he has a zip drive. Who remembers zip drives? That was an attempt at high capacity removable memory before writable CDs became a thing, really. I had a zip drive. No, they're after floppy drives. It was amazing because they had these little mini discs that were like 100 megabytes, you know, woo, and they were rewritable and portable. Because your only other choice at that point was like floppy disks, and but then writable CDs became affordable, so everyone used writable CDs for their removable media. Hey, Fox, you're trying to do your own upgrade and got the wrong DDR4. Oh gosh, that's me. Yeah, but yeah, this guy with the shop and the old tech, and he worked on my desktop for me. If I get a new desktop, I might go to him and just say, "This is what I want. What can you put together?" Like basically, if I went to him and said, "I want a desktop that can edit 4K video without stuttering. What can you do for me? How much will it cost to put together a desktop that can edit 4K video without stuttering?" Because my current desktop does take a long time to render video. So yeah, but this guy seems pretty good, and I think I'd feel comfortable putting my fate in his hands. I mean, Young Was Angry built my last desktop. She built her own, and it was quite successful. Then she built one for me, and something inexplicable was wrong, and we couldn't get it to work. And it took a lot of messing about to actually get it to work, and it was hard to work out why, but it did end up working. So I don't know. I could always get Young Was Angry to make me another more high-powered one. Yes, Red Scorpion. Yeah, I know the higher-end CPU and video card, really. But yeah, I'm not necessarily in the market now. So what was the problem in the end? I honestly don't remember. I just remember it took ages to get to work. I was saying, "Hey, Bobo, got in time for the live stream." Yes, you were in surgery. Oh my God. Red Scorpion, you reckon the video card's not a big deal? Okay. I don't use Premiere. I use a lower end editing program than Premiere, the Corel Video Studio. Justin, you reckon pre-made desktops made impossible to modify? I don't know. Oh, sorry, yeah, no, that Antifa Super Soldier program. And yes, Dr. Brown, I did see you ask me why I called it that. Oh, it's just in relation to that shenanigans in Portland in the US on the weekend, the Antifa clashing with the fascists, and the fucking Portland cops and all the media shamelessly recirculating absolute lies, and people falling over themselves to feel bad for right-wing fuckwits and lying about circumstances. And it just made me think of, it's like one of the a popular humor Twitter account, Krang T. Nelson. It was the weirdest thing. It was like a year or maybe even 2 ago. He did this random thing because right-wing media were running with such hysterical stories about Antifa. And whoever runs the Krang T. Nelson account just did this tweet. And it basically said, looking forward to November 11th when Antifa super soldiers take to the streets and kill the shopkeepers and police. And it was, it was just really, and his Twitter account actually got suspended because a whole bunch of right wingers said it was true, like an obviously bizarre joke. And it got him. So here, I'm going to look at what he actually said. I'm assuming it's a he. I could be wrong. So it was November 4th, and this was in 2017. So this was like 18 months ago. The account posted, "Can't wait for November 4th when millions of Antifa super soldiers will behead all white parents and small business owners in the town square." And all these right-wingers started saying it was true. And his account actually got suspended for a day or two until someone at Twitter fucking woke up to themselves. And so that's why I called, it's in relation to that famous tweet and the shit that happened in Portland over the weekend, the Antifa super scene. I know some people pronounce that Antifa, but I always pronounce it Antifa to make it very clear what they are. They're anti-fascist. So when people say they're anti-Antifa, it's the two antis just cancel each other out and they're just saying they're fascist. This is my non-alcoholic drink for the first half. This is just a tropical fruit cup I made. It's like pineapple and coconut juice and lemonade. But I do have a cocktail in mind for the second half. Yeah, this Foxcation, that's what I'm saying. The thing about concrete milkshake, that was an absolute lie, and the fucking police repeated it. In case you missed it, because of course milkshakes have become a funny thing to do fucking right-wing fuckwits, humiliate them by throwing a milkshake at them. It's become a thing. And so they were passing out all milkshakes at this Portland demonstration. And someone started circulating the lie that, Antifa put quick-drying cement into the fucking milkshakes, which was a complete fucking lie. And the fucking police repeated this ridiculous lie. And I was like, what the fuck? And as someone who's more experienced than me with these things pointed out, that concrete and chemicals in the milkshake wasn't just a stupid lie to get sympathy and attention. It's these fucking right-wing, ultra-violent fascists, like the Proud Boys, they are gearing up to use this as an excuse for using extremely violent and lethal force against people without being provoked, to say, I was scared for my life because they put cement in the milkshakes. And that's fucking true. Like, these arseholes have been going around threatening people. They've been directly involved in mass shootings and murders, and it's just like, what the fuck? Why the fuck do people rush to have sympathy for these fucking neo-Nazis and Nazi-adjacent sympathizers when they're fucking murderers? It's just like, what the fuck? So yeah, that absolute categorical lie about the quick-drying cement and other chemicals in the milkshakes wasn't just bullshit to make Antifa look bad and to get sympathy, although it worked like that. These fuckwits are going to use it as their excuse for extreme violence. And again, like I said, these people have been up to and including murder and mass shootings, and they're going to use it as their justification, like, I was in fear of my life because, you know, they put Ebola in the milkshakes, and they'll fucking get away with it. It's just so weird, this rush to say, oh, Antifa terrorists are so mean, when the people that Antifa are going up against are actual murderers. And it's just like, what the fuck? What the fuck? Dr. Obama, throw poo at them. That would just involve having to have poo around. Yeah, you should throw lube. How do you effectively throw lube? In a condom, maybe, because that would probably burst when it hit. Oh, that's a devious idea. So that suffered. There was a tweet from a lady, you're an American or Democrat. I'm not sure what that's in reference to. Have I logged into Twitter? Just while we're talking about, because this laptop's new. Yeah, I don't think I've logged into Twitter on this. Hey, here's a big thing. Do I remember my Twitter password? Let's okay. Let's see if I remember I do have it written down somewhere. Oh, what, do you want me to put an @ in front of it, you dipshits? Oh, no, its password's on the same page. Jesus. The contrast on this coming. Okay, now. I have mnemonics for, oh, I got it right the first fucking time. I'm fucking super impressed with myself, quite honestly. I have mnemonics to remember particular passwords, and so it's slightly different for each website. It's not. It's like if someone by a 1,000,000 to 1 shot guessed my password or got a hold password to one site. Although I use a mnemonic that's similar across websites, it's always different. So knowing one actually wouldn't help them with any of the others. But yeah. Oh, sorry, I saw that. Yeah, 3 got arrested in Western Sydney, suspected of planning a terror attack. And given that this is Australia, not America, there's a good chance that that was a serious thing and the right thing has happened with them given they're arrested. America's had so many cases when they go, oh, we broke a terror ring, and it's been absolute bullshit. They're like, a thing that has happened repeatedly is guys who realize someone's a fucking Fed is infiltrating them, and they get the Fed to buy them lots of stuff because the Fed thinks he's going to be their friend, and they know the guy's a Fed, so they just keep saying ridiculous stuff about, yeah, we're going to blow up the World Trade Center again, but we need money to buy drugs. And they get all this money off the Fed. and they're just saying ridiculous stuff. But they end up getting arrested on terror charges when they were nothing. But the people who've been arrested in Australia, and there've been some people who've found to be wrongfully arrested, but the people who in the past have been arrested on terror charge, by and large, it's been very fucking legitimate. So yes, if this one has headed off some assholes who think they were going to do some stupid fucking jihadi terror plot, fucking glad they got arrested. Yeah. Oh yeah, the Democratic nominee. Look, I'm thinking staying out of it till they cull the field a bit. There's a stupid number of potentials at the moment. Tulsi Gabbard, do you want Dr. Obama? That's a left field one. I'm probably leaning towards Elizabeth Warren. Joe Biden's a fucking piece of shit. It better not be him. It would be funny if it was Bernie Sanders going against Trump. I'd like to see what happens there. I'm not a huge Sanders supporter. I'd probably put Elizabeth Warren as my number one pick. Oh, what was interesting, and they had their debates and the thing, and people have started to talk up Kamala Harris. It's like, she's a fucking cop. Well, she was literally a cop. But when I say Kamala Harris is a cop, it's a general insult that she's an authoritarian. Fuck, the establishment would fucking love Kamala Harris as a candidate. She's so fucking establishment. Asaf, and nobody from the Republican Party is going to challenge Trump. That would be career suicide. Oh, of course, Kamala's better than Trump, but you know, a fucking genital wart on a syphilitic opossum is better than Trump. Yeah, Kamala Harris would just be fucking establishment central. And look, Elizabeth Warren probably would be too. It's very interesting. Some of the people who really trumpet Bernie Sanders, like what I found interesting, I listen occasionally to the podcast Chapo Trap House. Yeah, the dirtbag left, the rude left wingers. I like a lot of stuff they say. I agree with a lot. I don't agree with everything they say. But they're mad Bernie supporters because from their perspective, and I think they're largely right in this, that Bernie's the only one who wants to make fundamental changes to the system. Elizabeth Warren is much more an establishment person than Bernie Sanders. But they thoroughly believe if by whatever long shot Bernie Sanders got in, he wouldn't just have Republican opposition, he'd have opposition within the Democratic Party. And while they are huge Bernie cheerleaders, they don't think he'd be able to achieve anything as president because even the Democrats would be blocking him. Which is an interesting, if nihilistic, view to have. Dr. Palmer, you reckon Trump getting in would be good for North Korea relations? No, because it's all bullshit. Kim is playing Trump for the fucking fool he is. Kim is just using Trump for validation. Kim, look, again, got the world so fucking weird. Trying to predict anything is a mug's game. But my personal view is Kim's not giving up a goddamn thing. He just keeps playing Trump for a chump, and Trump the chump just fucking falls into it every time because of his fucking ego. It's ridiculous. Yes, Mr. Foxication. I do think that we need something to bring down the hard extreme right that's been on the rise. Ooh, Leanne, that's the fun one. Ivanka at the G20. That's hilarious for anyone who's missed it, because Trump dragged his daughter along to the G20. You know, she's not an elected official. She's nothing, and keeps inserting her in all the official things. And yeah, what's her role? Her role is Trump wants to fuck his own daughter. That much is obvious. But like, she's been trying to insert herself into various things, and people are like, fuck off. It's bad enough your psychopathic buffoon father got elected. You're no one. Just fuck off. No one else brought their fucking kids here. What are you doing? So she's been hilarious. The way the actual world leaders are clearly fucking pissed off at her existence there. So she's got a position on staff in Trump's White House. I think. Let's look it up. Ivanka's official position. Role in the White House. No, I don't think she has an official role. She's an advisor. She's an advisor. I don't think she has any official governmental role. Mr. Secretary, I think the big thing is she doesn't have security clearance. Neither her nor fucking Jared could pass security clearance. I swear to God, it's just as a general thing, the fucking American Democrats need to grow a fucking spine, because they always run scared whenever the Democrats whenever the Republicans attack them. And the Republicans don't give a shit. You see the outright criminality and the contempt that the Trump administration has, and they don't give a shit about anything the Democrats say. Whereas Democrats run from their own good policies because they get criticized by the Republicans. They've got to grow a fucking spine. I mean, shit, suffer. Are Democrats weak? Well, they sure fucking seem that way. They seem fucking spineless and useless. And the Republicans are just so often thundering, bullying thugs, but they don't back down. There you go. Safa, I don't think Ivanka gets paid. I think that's a key thing, that she doesn't have a salary to be an advisor. Talking about who's weaker, Australian Labor or the American Democrats. Generally, I would say the Democrats by a long shot, but this version of Labor in opposition with Albo, who I thought was a left-wing firebrand, is fucking pathetic. This opposition under Albo, just each week they find new ways to disappoint. They're just fucking pathetic, and they won't stand for anything. And they seem to have established in their head, we can't say anything even mildly contentious. We just have to be Liberal Party light. That's our future. Get fucked. It's like, grow a spine. Now, this is the thing. Who's weaker, Australian Labor or UK Labor? I wish I knew and understood more about what's happening with UK Labor, because that looks weird as fuck. Because I don't think Corbyn's a weak leader. I wish there would be a general election. I wish there'd be a general election, because I want to know what the British public actually wants. If they would vote for Labor, if they would downgrade the votes to both Labor and the Tories, and the Lib Dems would come in, and there'd maybe be a coalition with the Lib Dems and Labor. I don't think the Lib Dems would ever do a fucking partnership with the Tories again. Oh, Dr. Romer, I'm not talking about sitting days. I'm talking about their public statements. Every public statement Albo's Labor opposition's made has been weak as fucking piss. Safa, why is Labor spelled differently? That was a decision I think they made in the Bob Hawke era. The Labor Party was it was the party of Labor. It came out of the trade union movement. But it was some weird thing. I think this is in the Hawke era. And Hawke is from the right wing of the Labor Party. And it was a symbolic thing to sort of assert some independence from the union movement. Yeah, it was a branding thing they did. I think it was in the Hawke years. Dr. Brahma, you're saying it's from 1910? I don't think so. You could be right. When did ALP change name to Labour? Okay, here's the thing. Why do they do that? Oh no, okay, Dr. Obama is absolutely right. Apparently the ALP website says it was the influence of the American labor movement. Dr. Obama, absolutely right. Glad I looked that up. They've been spelling it with the American spelling since 1912. There you go. For some weird reason, I had this feeling it happened in the 80s. I was incredibly wrong. Wow, that's really interesting. Yeah, no, the Lib Dems, they ruined themselves by going with the Tories. But you look, there were some recent elections where both Labor and the Tories lost a lot of votes and the Lib Dems came swooping in. Kaiju, yes, Chuck has eaten at least a couple of babies. I should get him a Chuppa Chup because he's actually made, I've said this before, but there's a little hole in his hand to put a Chuppa Chup stick in, and you can have a Chuppa Chup in his mouth. He's made to actually have a Chuppa Chup in his mouth. I should get him one. Don't have any lollipops in the house, I don't think. Don't have any Chuppa Chups, but I don't think I have any lollipops to give him. Sorry, Chuck. Dr. Obama, you're a Labor broken. That's why you know. Okay. But that was an interesting thing to learn because, yeah, I would have, oh man, I would have sworn black and blue up and down that they changed the spelling in the 80s, but they changed it in 1912. My word. Because they thought, yeah, the American spelling would catch on. But British Labour is still spelled with a U. I mean, I hear such weird things about British Labour that you get some Labour people saying Corbyn has to come out hard against Brexit or they'll lose votes. Then other people saying like, oh, my constituency voted for Brexit, so he can't. And it doesn't make any sense. I really want there to be a general election in the UK with Boris leading the Tories and Corbyn leading Labour. I just want to see what happens because I have no fucking idea. The stories coming out of England are so contradictory and so hard to work out. I have no idea what would happen. I mean, according to some people, Corbyn's Labour's only hope. According to other people, if Labour went to an election with Corbyn as leader, they'd get smashed. I don't fucking know. I do not know at all. So who are worse, the Tories or the Liberals? I think the UK Tories are worse because there's that centuries-old aristocracy bullshit in the UK that we don't have so much in Australia. I know the fucking Liberals will have They are snobs. They're massive snobs, most of them. And for those who missed it earlier, I got a $5 back scratcher, and I fucking love it. Oh, yeah. Oh, hit the spot. That's the spot. That's the spot. My $5 skeleton hand back scratcher. Telescopes. It's fucking brilliant. Yes, it's a winner. A good use of $5. Hey, I finished my fruit juice, and it's halfway. I'll tell you what, the idea I had for making a cocktail is, there's always Angry's bad idea, which turned into Angry's pleasant surprise because it actually worked and was tasty. And I honestly had severe doubts about it being a good thing. But I thought of another one. There's one I made with whiskey and banana liqueur, but I wanted to make it a real desserty drink. Oops, there's a mysterious hooded stranger coming to get something out of the fridge. Oh, the strange and mysterious person. But yeah, I was going to make a really desserty one, a cross between my favorite is like a whiskey sour. I'm going to put egg white so it foams up. And I'm going to use banana liqueur and white creme de cacao. So, okay, we need a name for this. It's a whiskey sour with banana and chocolate flavoring. So it's like it's a dessert, very much a dessert. A bourbon banana split, maybe. Yeah, bourbon banana split. Safa, do I like Belgian waffles? I do, actually. A bourbon banana split. That's a good name for it because it's going to have banana and chocolate flavor in it. Yes, I think I'll make that. I've just arbitrarily decided that's what I'm making. I need to get the bits that I need. I'll give myself a bit of space there. So I'm in the kitchen. Okay, I've got to get my cocktail shaker for a start. So making it with egg white, I need to do lots of shaking. So just here. Where's my cocktail shaker? Okay, I'll use this one. All right. Cocktail shaker and tiki mug. All right. Need to get a big block of ice on my tiki mug. Big blocks of ice. Chill that. What do we want? We want the banana. What's the bourbon? That's huge Costco bourbon, which unsurprisingly lasts for a long time. It's going to put creme de cacao. Where's that? I have too much booze. I can't find. There it is. And I got lemon juice in here. I've got some lemon juice. Oh, I forgot the egg white. I'm just going to get egg white. All right. So this is one I've never made. So it's a little bit of an experiment, but it's basically a blend of two that I have made that I like. Don't remember to hear Joyce was late to Parliament today. That's probably just a desperate attempt to get people to notice he exists. Honestly, he's such a loser. Which order will I do this in? Okay. Oh, I'm almost out of creme de cacao. I should stop buying booze, but I like having different things to mix. Maybe I have to go to the bottle shop and get some more creme de cacao because I don't have. When I first thought of this, I was thinking of making it really desserty and making it with avocado, but I don't have any avocado, so I'll just do egg white. Avocado's like got egg in it. So creme de cacao and banana. Banana is not very high alcohol. Put the banana over there. Just one sugar bourbon. The thing with this bottle with a handle, I don't know how long it takes me to finish it. Be a handy weapon in hand-to-hand combat. Handle will make it very easy to smack someone over the head with it. Do it, big white. I haven't had any of the weirdo right-wingers get super upset about the fact I have cocktails recently. Kind of funny, like, and they're so desperate to have some reason to attack me. You're drunk. So have you guys declared that in the white ethno state there won't be any booze? Because honestly, it's very hard to tolerate the existence of you people. Definitely couldn't manage it without booze. So like, do the shaky to make it go foamy now. It'll be very interesting to see how this one works. Bourbon banana split. Oh shit, it's leaking. Fuck, what's happening there? I must not have closed that properly. Okay, just gonna. No, it's foamy. Oh shit. Alright, get your shit together. A little bit more shaky. Oh, sorry, Dr. Brown, I saw you ask that question before. Is it possible to convert someone suffering from Tyler Durden syndrome? And I assume what you mean is someone who's behaving like the central message of the movie Fight Club isn't Tyler Durden is fucked up, because that is the central message, and it's really disturbing how much people say, yeah, no, Tyler Durden's so cool. No, that's not the message of the movie. The message of the movie is quite the opposite, and it's about how strong personalities can sucker people into fascism, basically. Nug's got a deck out. Sorry, see you. Oh, Jesus. Miss Fox Creation, you saw a news update. A bus driver got shot in Mount Waverley. That's unpleasant. We don't see stories like that very often. He's in hospital. I hope he's okay. She? I don't know if it's a he or a she, but I hope they're okay. Okay, Dr. Winnie is starting to think like Tyler Durden. Yeah. I don't know. Just sort of, there's some good articles on how people who idolize Tyler Durden are missing the point completely. I mean, even you just look at it literally, Tyler Durden is the product of mental illness for a start. You know, he's a product of a dissociative personality disorder. But yeah, no, he's bad. He beguiles aimless men into a life of violence and fascism that's ultimately self-destructive. Well, that's good. I thought it would be. Ah, okay, this Fox location is on news sites. Victorian government planning to collect location data for public transport planning. Of course they are. That's why for ages I resisted registering my Mikey and getting auto top up, because it's just like, well, they're just going to use it to track movements, which is creepy. But I eventually went for it. Yeah, it's quite inevitable that they were going to use it to track people. I mean, it's only getting worse, folks. Is what I love is absolute established reality now is the same as what's sort of people with serious paranoid delusions would have had, only 10 or 20 years ago. The fact that we are under constant government surveillance, the fact that we have no privacy, we're being watched and listened to all the time. And we know that's simply factually true now, and it's only going to get more so. They're attaching some convenience, like some awful hybrid of Brave New World with the distractions and the rewards, and 1984 with the total surveillance. I had this discussion on live streams before about the mirror universe. It's fun, long read in Wired magazine from a few months ago. I'm sure you can get it online. Just look for it in Wired Mirror Universe. It's basically that we are going to end up with a digital map, a one-to-one scale digital map of most of the world. All the places where people have money, basically. Poor people, third world countries, they'll be the only ones spared from it. But because there will be some convenience attached to it, we'll be convinced to give up all of our privacy and have situate ourselves in this digital mirror universe. And that will be our future. Mimsy's so happy. She's just come to get scratches. Hey, Heine, how's it going? Yeah, just search wired.com and the mirror universe. It's quite a fascinating read. Music baby, you want to have sexy times to be private. Good luck. The thing is, look, what you'll end up getting, and they'll end up making it feel like it's a really good idea to opt into it. But, your phone, which is just a surveillance device, and things like Alexa and Google Home and whatnot that are just surveilling you all the time, will opt in, and they'll listen and hear you talking about, maybe this new lounge, maybe this lounge, we could do with a new lounge. And you'll just get a push notification that says, hey, local furniture store will offer you 25% off to get a lounge, and use this app to see what would look good in your lounge room. And so you'll use your smartphone to scan your lounge room, and then it'll superimpose all the different lounges that are on sale into your space. So you'll get an augmented reality version of what a different lounge would look like for you. And but that means there being a one-to-one digital map of your home online, and all these stores have notoriously bad fucking security. So there will be significant trade in the criminal world of maps of houses of people who buy things. So in other words, people who have money. There's going to be no fucking end of that, and there'll be no privacy. There will just be people hacking into these home decor systems. It's going to be really fucked, honestly. Dr. Obama, the William C. Whitlam CIA conspiracy. It's not really a conspiracy, in as much, for those who don't know, the Whitlam government, who ran into all sorts of problems because they decided they could tell America to fuck off, it was actual policy in the US within the CIA to destabilize the Whitlam government. The evidence goes back a long way. Famously, a couple of people who worked for one of the intelligence agencies who ended up, selling secrets to the Russians because they were disenchanted with the American system, was fictionalized in the movie The Falcon and the Snowman, because that was their code names. And one of the reasons they say they turned against the CIA was they saw reports where the CIA was talking about how they were destabilizing the Whitlam government. And these guys are going like, fucking wait, that's an ally, a Western democracy that we're undermining just because they're expressing independence. What the fuck is going on here? This whole system is evil and corrupt. And yeah, the CIA, the American government, very aggressively moved against the Whitlam government and was central to destabilizing them and bringing them down. They weren't the only factor. You might be able to argue they weren't even a dominant factor, but they did. They were part of it. Oh, Mimsy, have you not had attention for 5 seconds? So, yeah, I mean, we're used to the US rolling elected governments in South American countries and Middle Eastern countries, democratically elected governments, just because they decided that democratically elected government wasn't subservient enough to them. But they did it to Australia as well. Yes, Safa in Ukraine, yeah, they did it. They've basically done it all over. It's essentially, if you do shit to say to America, hey, we're not actually going to follow your rules. We're not going to kowtow to you. We're going to go our own way. And one of the big reasons the US right-wingers in particular are so obsessed with Iran at the moment is not any military thing Iran has done. It's they have a lot of oil and they want to trade it but don't trade in US dollars. And that's incredibly important to the US economy, that international trade is done in US dollars, because basically that means they get a cut of every transaction. And Iraq threatened to sell oil and not use US dollars as currency. That did not work well for them. And Iran's in a similar position. So the whole fucking bullshit about thing with Iran being purely military, that's a fucking lie. And in fact, Iran only ended up with an Islamic theocracy because the US overthrew a democratically elected leader who wasn't favorable to them and installed a fucking puppet. And the public didn't like that. And the Islamic extremists whipped up the public with anti-American stuff and, well, fuck the whole country, quite honestly. It was not a great thing, a whole Islamic revolution in Iran, but it's basically America fucked Iran over, and they were able to whip up populist sentiment and seize power, and that's been shitty for just about everyone. Yeah, it's just like, hey, US foreign policy is try and stop us. I haven't loved which episode of The Simpsons it was, which country they were in. It was Brazil. The episode when they were in Brazil, and when they're on the beach in Rio, and like the lifeguard singles them out as Americans, and Homer goes, "Oh, how did you know?" And of course, the first joke it was well, because you're really fat. But it's not just that. When Homer says, "How do you know?" he's wearing a T-shirt that has Uncle Sam eating the world, like taking huge bites out of a globe, leaving blood everywhere, with the slogan "Try and stop us" underneath. Like, oh dear, oh dear, oh dear, oh dear, oh dear. So I have to admit, when one of the weird complaints I get from idiot right wingers, I make a video talking about American politics. Yet these fuckwits who'll pop up and say, "You wasn't even saying anything about America. You're not American. Nothing to do with you." It's like, motherfucker, I will stop talking about America when America gets the fuck out of other countries and stops interfering with other countries. I mean, America has more influence on politics in my country than the elected government does. They have more influence on the economy than the elected government does. They have more influence on the culture than anyone in Australia does. So the idea that I can't comment on the fucking idiocy of American culture is ridiculous, because they're fucking interfering. And yeah, and as you say, Fox, well, they should stop talking about other countries. Yeah, well, they should fucking stop invading other countries. They should stop interfering with the politics in other countries. They should pull their fucking military bases out of other countries. It's fucking ridiculous when someone says, "Why are you even talking about America?" Because America won't stop fucking with the rest of the world. It's as simple as that. From the benign thing of American culture being so dominant in the English-speaking world, like I said, American culture has more influence in Australia than anyone in Australian culture does. But that's the most benign part of it. There's the fucking economic, political, and military interference around the world. Of course, I'm going to fucking talk about America, because they have such a big effect here and everywhere else. It's just like the willful ignorance of those buffoons does my head in. It's absolutely bizarre. It's really surreal to see how divorced from reality they are. And like every time I read another article that highlights people being super fucking ignorant, I'm surprised all over again. It's like, I don't know why. Why am I surprised again? Like there was one recently with Trump supporters being interviewed, because there was some more stuff about, the investigator Robert Mueller's been more and more clear that, like, yeah, honestly, we uncovered heaps of evidence of criminality by Trump and his cronies, but we believe it wasn't our position to launch any prosecution. And Trump supporters expressing surprise when it's revealed to them that there is very negative information about Trump in the Mueller report. They go, "I hadn't heard that. The president said there was nothing in there, so I assume there was nothing in there." Like when yet another woman comes out with graphic detail about being raped by Trump, people going, "I didn't know anyone had said that he, sexually assaulted women." And it's like, it's like 20 different women. And I don't know why, but I'm consistently surprised every time it comes out. Like a Trump supporter has blinded themselves to what everyone else can see. What you doing, Lindsay? You want to go? I think I have to go. I know it's a little early. but I might finish tonight a little, because it's your fault. I finished my cocktail. I'm going to organize a couple of things before I go to bed. So I think I'll finish a little early tonight, but I'll be back. I'll be back. I know. I'll see if I do a Wanker Fat Wednesday. I might rile up the right wingers who've been spreading such ridiculous fucking lies about what happened in Portland on the weekends and don't give a fuck if they're decrying Antifa violence when they're actually the instigators of the violence. They're more upset about one dude getting punched than they do with a right-wing extremist murdering dozens of people. And it's just like absolutely ridiculous. But anyway, we'll see. Even if I don't do a video tomorrow, I'll most definitely do another live stream on Thursday. And we'll see what happens from there. But I hope you all have a jolly good time and look after yourselves, one and all, because I do enjoy spending time with you. But yeah, hope you look after yourselves. Looking forward to seeing you again soon. But I will say bye for now.